Welcome back to another video. My name is Santiago. I'm really glad that you're back here seeing another tutorial. As you're seeing on screen right now, we have a little different setup this time around because on this tutorial, we're going to be checking out a software called Screen Studio. This is a software used to record your screen and to play around with what you can do when you're recording your screen. This is a really cool software because it has also an editor built right into it. So you can edit the video that you've just recorded, the screen recording that you've just did. I'm going to show you how to use some of the basic functions, how to record your screen, how to record yourself, what you can do in the editor because it's a really well-built editor and really easy to get a handle of. I'm going to be using the free version, but if you want to use a licensed version, if you want to use one of the paid plans, there are some affiliate links on the description box down below for you guys to use as well. So without further ado, let's get right to it, and I'm going to show you how the software works. Right here on the bottom, we have some different tools that you can play around for the software. The first one is that you can select which webcam is being used to record the screen recording. I have my iPhone as a main camera right now. You can just use it using the Bluetooth option, but you could also use the camera of your computer if you wanted to do it that way. You can select the resolution of the camera. You can hide the camera preview so you won't be shown that little square that you're seeing on screen right now, or you can toggle the recording altogether. With the microphones, it's a bit similar. Right now I'm using this microphone, the Yeti Nano, but you could also select the microphone from your iPhone or from your computer. You can also reduce the noise and normalize volume, disable auto gain controls, or you can toggle the recording of the audio altogether once again. The last thing that you can do before you start recording is select if you want to record the system audio or not. For example, if you wanted to showcase a video on your screen and you wanted the audio from that recording to be shown, you can do it with this option right there. It is toggled off as a default, so it doesn't interfere with the audio that you're speaking. So I'm going to leave it off as of now. You can record the whole display of your computer. You can record just a window. You can record an area that you can select specifically to be recorded, or you can record the screen of different devices. For example, if I wanted to record the screen of this iPhone or of a different device, I would use this option right there. In this video, I'm going to record a window. If I click on this option, if I hover over a window, I can select which window I want to record. I want to record Chrome as of now, so I'm gonna start that recording right there. A little timer is gonna start right here on the bottom left that we can check out. We can pause the recording, we can start it once again, or we can delete it. If you pause it, it's just a little pause that you can resume anytime that you want, or you can just stop the recording altogether. Let's say that we wanted to go to a web page, any web page. Let's say that we want to go to Wikipedia. Let's say that we want to go to this article right here about this charming man. You can select parts of the article right there. You can highlight them. I'm gonna click around a bit so I can show you what you can do with those clicks in the editor after the recording has ended. You can scroll through the web page, you can go to any of the links, you can showcase any part that you want to showcase about this specific article. You can go to any application that you want, and then it's going to be recorded if you select it in the window option. I'm just going to make a little recording so I can show you the editor part, because that is the coolest part that I find about the software. I'm just going to click around some parts of the screen right there, and once you've done, you just click on stop recording. You're then automatically taken to the editor part of the software. This is the timeline that is created for you to play around with. On the top, we have the video and the audio part. On the bottom, we have the zooms that the software automatically adds for the cursor. You can see that it added a zoom right there where it deemed it important. Or when we were selecting the web page, the Wikipedia web page, it added a zoom specifically on that part of the screen. You can make that zoom as long or as short as you want, just dragging that slider on the bottom, or you can add as much or as many zooms using the plus sign right there as well. You can see that the software added a bunch of different zooms where it deemed it important, where when we were selecting text, for example, it added a zoom right there. And once again, you can make them as large or as small as you want. Right here, we have a bunch of different options that we can play around with. The first one is you can choose how the background looks. You can select from these macOS backgrounds, for example. You can select from any of them. You can select a spring background as well, a sunset background, or all these different groups as well. If you wanted to add, for example, a gradient, a color gradient, you would select the first color right here and the second color as such, and a gradient would be added to your background. You can also add a solid color. If you want to change it, you just need to open this little selector right there, and you can select whichever color that you want. You can play around with the padding, that is how big or small the background is in relation to the screen, and you can play around with the rounded corners as well for your background to be rounded or not. You can also add an inset, that is a little margin that is added between your screen and the background. You can play around with the shadow, how much shadow is shown between the screen and the background. And right here on advanced settings, you can do a bunch of different stuff. You can select how the distance of the shadow looks, the angle of the shadow, the blur of the shadow, and so on. Or you could even upload an image for you to have as a background image. In this part, you can change how the cursor is shown on the recording. You can select from a bunch of different cursors as you're seeing right there. You can select a retro one, you can select a hand, you can select a bunch of different cursors. You can toggle on and off this option. For example, if you don't want to change the cursor even when you're selecting text. We selected text, for example, in this part of the video, and then the cursor is changed, but if we selected this option, the cursor won't be changed on the final recording. You can hide the cursor when it is not moving, so if you have it still on the recording, it's not going to be shown. You can select this option, for example, if you're recording a web page, for the cursor to move back to its initial position. You can hide the cursor altogether, or right here on the bottom, you can do some stuff with the clicks. You can add click effects, for example, a ripple. When we click on something, like we did right there, a little ripple would be shown on the video. You can have a circle as well to be added on your video. You're seeing that circle on the editor right there. You can add sounds to your clicks. You can rotate your cursor all together. If we go back to the beginning right here, you can see that we can rotate the cursor any way that we wanted to. If we go to the camera options, you can select in which part of the screen the camera is going to be shown. You can change the size of the webcam. You can change the roundness of the corners as well. You can select the shape. The one that is used the most is the square shape, but you can have it horizontal, vertical, or the original one. You can mirror the camera if you wanted to do that. You can hide it all together, or on the bottom right there, you can select how much the size of the webcam is changed while the zoom is active. As you see right there, when a zoom is added, the webcam is made a bit smaller, so the screen is shown a bit better, and you can make it as large or as small as you want it to when the zoom is added. On this part, you can generate automatic captions. It takes a couple of minutes to do so. While it does, I'm going to show you the rest of the things that you can do in the editor. If you go to the audio part, you can mute the microphone, you can improve the microphone audio, or add stereo mode if you wanted to do that as well. You can add background music from all these different groups of music. For example, a lo-fi music. You can select each of them and hear a little preview. And that would be added to the final video as well. You can also remove background audio altogether. If you go to the keyboard shortcuts, you can select if you want to show the shortcuts on screen. When you used a shortcut in the recording, it would be shown on screen right there. And finally, you can select how the animations are being shown on the final video. You can select focused or smooth animations, and you can select how fast or how slow the cursor animation is. And you can also play around with the motion blur of the cursor. As you see right there, the captions were automatically added as of now. If you scroll around the timeline, you can see which part of the caption is being shown in which part of the video. You can edit the transcript, or you can export it if you want to use it on a different project altogether. Once everything's done, you can just export the video and save it to your computer. That is one of the paid features of the software. If you want to export the video, you just need to create an account and then have a license. But all in all, the editor is really complete, and the way that it handles the screen recording is really, really amazing. As you saw, creating a video with Screen Studio is really easy to do. It just takes a couple of minutes to get the handle of how the tools work. It is a really intuitive software and really easy to use. You don't need any kind of editing knowledge prior to this software to get a really well created screen recording. Once again, I really invite you to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to see if you've already used the software or if you're planning on using it. My name is Santiago. I'm really glad that you saw this tutorial, and without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.